All right, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Jake.
I'll take that pin now.
All right. 3069
6-9
or
or
96.
9-6?
Yeah, 96.
Okay.
You got it right.
All right, I got it. You missed it.
Ah,
It's your fault, right?
it's my thing. Guys, I'm sorry. I got the pin wrong.
All right. Everybody buckled? Welcome to the Expert Uber,
All right.
where I only Uber experts. What's your area of expertise, gentlemen?
Well, they're Bible teachers.
You're Bible teachers.
Yeah. So we're going to Mexico for that.
Going to Mexico.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I'm an expert driver.
Woo! Yeah. This is insane. It's like, this is pretty dope. So sick.
Yes, please enjoy the amenities. I'm afraid my water's gotten a little bit lukewarm, so maybe don't try to brew any tea, but I mean, ordinarily you can, but it's been a busy night, so.
That's a good thing, I guess.
It is a good thing. I make money when it's busy.
Any interesting individuals?
Well,
Experts, I should suppose.
yes, there's always good experts. My last rider was a teacher of world affairs.
Oh.
Who said that she liked to, one day a year, she teaches at the high school level, she tells the parents, don't feed your children breakfast before you send them in. I'm going to teach them about world hunger, so I'll feed them. And
that's genius.
they walk in to a bowl of rice, and that's it.
That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good illustration.
Yeah, really
on.
good. Really good. So what about you? You're expert Bible teachers. So what's your strategy? Like, how are you spreading the word? What's your main thing? What's your biggest, like, sell me? Pretend I've never heard of Jesus.
Dang. This is a dream.
He's like, oh my God, it happens, guys.
I'm eating cookies at 5 a.m. and this guy wants me to tell him about Jesus.
This is dope.
Pretend I've never heard about Jesus.
Dang. I would probably say, well, if you've never heard about Jesus, then you've never heard about the most famous person in Testament. And he has 4 credible documents from eyewitnesses talking about his life. So I would encourage you to read those for yourself and to, see what you think his claims are. The way he lived, does that support his lifestyle? I mean, like, would he claim to be poor? Did he live that way? And what do you think his identity is? And how are you going to respond to that? I think that's the most important thing, is like his identity. If you believe what the eyewitnesses said about him, then that's like the most important. That's the most important thing that you could ever.
So make me believe what the witnesses said.
Well,
I was gonna say, that's actually not something a person does. Like, I can't make you change your mind. Only
Okay.
you can change your mind.
Help me.
Now, I can give you evidence. I can give you facts.
Right.
At the end of the day, you're gonna believe what you believe because that's what you believe.
So
And
help me.
Yeah.
Help me understand. Let me rephrase my
For
question.
sure.
Help me understand why these witnesses are credible.
So there's the factual route, and like the evidential route, and then there's also like just in general, like like more of like an emotional route you could go for. Because there's like, if you want to look at like, oh, is the Bible credible? We can look at, okay, is this a translated document? Like, can we trust the fact it's been translated over the years? Can we trust the accounts that have been written? And can we compare that to evidence that we have, like other historical like things we believe, like the Iliad, the history of Julius Caesar, some of these big ancient documents that have less copies and were translated far after the events that took place in comparison to the Bible that took place, and they have accounts that were written within 100 years of the account. So it was within the lifetimes of these people that witnessed. It wasn't an account of an account of an account. It was these people wrote down their accounts. And the translations we found are accurate to a very high degree. Like, this is something where people are like, okay, we can trust this as a historical document for retelling. But when it becomes a religious text, that's when people get confused, because it's like, oh wait, but this is religious. I don't know if I want it to be true. That's where the emotional side comes in. Is like, even if it can be true, a great example is in the Bible. Like, we see the disciples. So in the eyewitness accounts, 12 disciples are walking with the man that in his claims is God. And by the evidence, if we look at the way he lived, and if he was true to everything else he did, and also to his claim to God, then he was God. But in the face of this God, they denied him and walked away. All of them ran from him when he went to the cross. So even in the face of God, even with the facts that they lived and walked with the living and breathing God, they walked away. And so the idea being, like, as much as you have fact, you can still walk away from God. It depends on, do you want to come back to him? Because he offers, hey, come to me. My burden is light. You can come to me. I have forgiveness. I'm going to change. You're going to change. But you have the option to come to me even if you betrayed me. Even if you have all the facts, you can still walk away. And just because it's like, I don't want to follow this. So I guess there's that route you can also go, of the emotional side.
Okay. So all of your explanations just now, let's say we can trust the Gospels because of XYZ. They happened and they were written down more closely in time to the event, and with fewer translations and with fewer transcriptions. Good. That's good. I like that. That presupposes that you've got somebody in the room. How do you get them in the room?
Usually, I mean, that's not even what we typically teach, actually. So
Okay.
that's just evangelism. Like, what we're typically teaching is a certain study method called inductive method. I explain it. You guys explain it. I'm like, do I get to explain? Because I'm the teacher.
A bunch of experts
I'm like,
here,
I'm the
so.
I'm like proctoring. They're the teachers. I'm like, do I explain it or do I let them explain it? I kind of want to hear you guys explain it. So we have like 3 different teachings. I'll let them explain it.
So the way that the inductive method of Bible study works is you begin, so there's 3 steps, and the first is observation, where you just read the text very closely and try to pick up, like, what characters are present, like who is in this story, what words are being used to describe the people or their actions, what actions are they doing, what things are they doing, where are they doing these things, where are they, what time is it, when is this taking place, like how does this story or writing or like paragraph of the letter fit into the overall letter or story book, like looking at the structure, just like kind of looking and just seeing without actually beginning to interpret. Then
Okay.
you use those questions and then use those things you observe, not questions. Then you form questions from the text, like why is the author describing Jesus in this way, or what does this description mean about Jesus, or just questions that are kind of open-ended, but also kind of directional towards truth, building off of what you observe. So then, from there, you answer those questions
in an unbiased way just by looking at the text. Of course, your answers might be influenced by like your
Right, but you try to be objective.
Yeah, you're trying to be as
you try
objective
to
as
be
possible.
Objective, not like too steered by your opinions or theology background. And then so you answer those based on the text, and it's really helpful often to bring in whatever historical background you have. Say like, what's this culture in the Roman Empire where Jesus lived? You know, where his disciples lived. What are certain aspects of the culture? How do they inform how Jesus acts in this way? Or what is the Jewish custom that informs this action? And that can be really helpful to help you stay on track with your interpretations. And then the goal of all interpretation of the Bible is to apply it, because like if the Bible isn't influencing how you live, then like people say, what would Jesus do? But Jesus isn't you. What would Jesus do if he was you? Or what would you do if you were Jesus? Perfectly.
The acronym changes. Fascinating.
Yeah. So we went from observation to interpretation
To application.
Historical context, and then we find from interpretation timeless truths, which are these just realities about humanity, about God, about evil, about the nature of truth, and the world, and then we apply it to our own lives and work to actually make a change. So that is, in a nutshell, inductive Bible study.
Interesting.
They also have little hand motions, so it makes it super memorable.
Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
Because sometimes like we have a group of friends. They're going to Papua New Guinea, and it's like they have a culture that's not like they don't have a written language always, but they do have like so they're not gonna be able to take notes, but do some hand motions, and also there's gonna be so much of like if you do a hand motion, all of a sudden you're gonna remember it a lot more because you're like, why did I do that silly looking? Oh well, now I remember everything. Exactly. And you're like,
you remember that song from when you were 2.
Precisely. they made you do the hand motion. They were getting you doing it.
Yeah.
So we do that, and then we also do Bible overview. So kind of giving them an idea of where everything lands in the Bible, because, like we said, inductive Bible study is really helpful to understand the context. But to understand context, it's also really helpful to understand, okay, where does everything line up? Okay, did Paul live before or after Jesus? It's like, okay, that really changes things, because then you actually see that there's a narrative of history, not just a bunch of random instances. And that also has hand motions. That is a lot more of a just informative lecture than it is a interactive, like, inductive Bible study. You were making a lot of those, you're like, hey, this is a truth, this is true. That is the goal, is for the people, the students, to actually make that themselves, to get to their own application. Because like I said before, we're not the ones who lead to life change. I can't, like, if I have an application, that's going to be really poignant for me, but not for you. You're like, I'm not struggling with what you're struggling with. I have a great one for myself. I'm going to do that. And I'm like, yes, do that, because God's going to prompt way more of what you need to do. And maybe he can use me, but he's also going to speak a lot more clearly through the person himself.
Right.
And then you can apply that, kind of combining them, and we do a seminar where you study a book of the Bible inductively. Philemon's like the one-page book, but it's really cool to see what people pull out of it, because it's a lot about forgiveness, it's about reconciliation, and it's a really like small and seemingly insignificant book. But then you tell people, you're like, but look, you just studied the Bible. You have now studied an entire book of the Bible. 65 to go. Come on, you got it.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, dang.
And
I can't actually do this.
And they're all longer than this one.
They are all a bit longer. They don't need to know that. They're not starting with like Psalms or something like that. You're like, that's a little bigger.
Yeah, I usually start with Genesis.
You know, it is the beginning, so you got us there.
I love the way the creation story in Genesis lines up with what we actually know about the hard science of creation.
Great.
If you look at it, and if you're okay with fudging a day, if you're okay with God fudging a day,
Depends on the interpretation of day. Yeah.
yeah. So if God, if you call a day just a period of time, okay,
Yeah.
everything happens in pretty much the right order. You know, first there's nothing, then there's the light. Guess what? The Big Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was pretty bright. There was some light there, and then there was land covered by water. Then there was separate land and water. Guess what happened when Earth was formed? In the geological records.
We need that.
Yep. Then
In
there
that
was
process.
life in the water. Guess what? Then there was life in the air. Guess what? Then there was life on land. Guess what?
Like, this is all lining up.
It all happens
It's true.
in the right order, like clockwork. It's amazing. And so if I just have this image in my mind, and if I could draw, I would make a cartoon of it. But I just have this image of Moses like talking to God, and God's like, so 13 billion years ago, I made light.
Okay.
And,
Let me.
and Moses is like,
Can you,
how many days ago? How many days is that?
Can you summarize
And-
that for me?
And God just goes, you know what? Let's call it 7.
That's a good number. Seven's. I like this number.
7 generations.
Because we can split it into 7 pretty good steps. So let's just call it 7.
He's like, and it's one of my days. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah?
My day is
okay.
well, yeah, and you've
7
seen
days.
the one.
Okay.
You've seen the one that where the man is talking to God and he says, "How long is a second?" And it's 1,000,000 years. And how much
It's a million years.
is $1 million? Oh, it's a penny to me. And then, oh God, can I have a penny? Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, dang it! You got me, God.
Right?
Yeah.
You've seen that one,
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's a good. It's a good.
It's sort of the same idea. Like, God has a different definition of what a day is. And if we accept that God has a different definition of what a day is, you can believe Genesis. Bang on.
If that's what's stopping you, it's like that can be. You can find
Right.
that like that can be the thing that holds some people back, and it's like that can. We can make room for that.
Yeah.
God has enough room.
All right. Well, this is this. We got some stuff back. Hey. Thanks, bro.
Hey, Elias, you want to open Linus's? Or not?
Come here, brother. Oh, you got it. All right. You guys are gonna share my van part. That's cool. It's all good.
I'll put it back together. Don't worry about it, guys.
Elias, you're going to want your back? Yes.
We have all the things.
It's not in here.
Yes. Where'd you pick it up?
Oh, you didn't get to talk about that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about my experts. As long as I still have you, would it be all right with you gentlemen if I use some of the footage from today's ride on social media? Absolutely.